So Chad, you asked me to check to see which one's better because you're not sure, Premier or the Hyperflex. We're gonna try this one with sock on your right foot, barefoot on the left. Okay, how'd you hit that one?
Good.
Okay. Take a look at that real fast. So what I'd like to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about the force weights. We captured your swing using this technology, and I want to at least explain to you what it is. If I push into the ground really hard, the ground pushes back. That pushback force is called a reaction force. It's called the ground reaction force. And those forces that are coming back into your body allow you to move your body and move the golf club. It's really the synchronization of those forces that help you move the club on plane. That makes sense, right?
Yep.
And what we found is that it's really important the sequence in which you do these, the timing in which you do these, and how hard you do these. We can actually see how well your shoes are helping you do this. Are any of these change your sequence, change how much you do? Because, hey, if one of the shoes actually makes your sequence better and increases your magnitudes, let's put those on. Okay, Chad, so the first thing I like to look at, like I said, is your sequence. So what I did is I put the graphs in order. I have the top graph is lateral.
Okay.
The next one's rock and roll. The next one's twist, and the last one's jump. And I put a yellow dot where you do those maximum. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see which one you do first. Understand, this is barefoot, right? So I'm looking at, there's no interference between your foot and the ground. You're going, okay, so I'm going, okay, you're kind of pausing, you're going lateral.
Yep.
Right? You're twisting, and then you jump rock.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, now I can kind of feel what you're doing. Like, that's why I like,
Yeah.
it really helps me understand how you move the club, right? One of the things we like to look at is when you put a shoe on, what do you think should happen if I put a shoe on?
Better traction.
Traction's a big one, right? Yeah. I mean, that's probably step one with you guys, traction, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Step two is, do you want cushion when you walk?
It's a little more comfortable, usually.
So it's like this double-edged sword. We want some cushion for when you walk, but we don't want to take away too much so that you can get the ground reaction forces. Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
So we kind of look at this in a couple ways. We're like, could we help with traction? Could we help with some comfort, but at the same time, don't take away as much ground reaction forces as possible?
Sure.
You know, if you can make it zero, that would almost be impossible, but that'd be great. Now, I look at this and I go, if I'm gonna go look at shoes now, I'm gonna go, number one, I wanna help your superpowers. I wanna try and see if I can maintain as much of that vertical as we can. I wanna see if I can help you twist even more. And then if I can add some of those lateral ones, I'm in. We'll do some, that's what we're gonna look for.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense.
I'm gonna do the same thing we did when you were barefoot. Let's take a look at the Hyperflex. All right, so let's take a look at the Hyperflex, see how that did, right? So same thing, first thing we're gonna look at is sequence.
Yes.
Right, to see if it's changing anything. So I'm gonna go through, let's take a look. Okay, lateral first.
Yep.
Twist. And rock jump. Okay, sequence same, right?
Right.
I look at timing. Actually, it might even be a little earlier. You notice that? So now remember, if it's earlier, it gives you more time to transfer the energy over there. That's good. The best players, the most efficient players are earlier, not later, right? So maybe that shoe sequence is the same. If anything, it actually made you a little bit earlier, which is a good thing.
Okay.
Now I go look at magnitude, okay? So now I go look at magnitude again. Let's start with lateral again. So we take a look here. Your lateral is now 13.15. Before, it was, just to remind us, was 11.85. So that's a 10% increase.
Okay.
Rock went down a little bit.
Okay.
So a little bit less rock. If I go to your twist 17.98, it went up a little bit. It went up almost 2%. So a little bit more of your rock. And now if I go to your vertical, right? So your vertical is at 185, and without the shoes, 195, which, okay, now we just lost 5%.
Right.
So the shoe's doing its job cushioning, but it is affecting how much more force you can create out of there, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's always a give or take. If you're like, but I really like the comfort off there, like, how much is that gonna affect you? I mean, it's not a ton, but there's a little bit there. So I'm gonna look at Premier. We're gonna go through, let's look at your sequence together. So as we start going, because what I don't want, and you'd be surprised, sometimes a shoe could change your sequence.
Right.
Because it feels totally different. I don't want to change your sequence, right?
Okay,
So,
yeah.
So you got laterals first. There's the twist. Twist second. And, okay, the sequence is the same. Now I look at the timing. I go, here's where you're peaking at your lateral. And I'm like, cool, shaft's still vertical. I'm like, timing hasn't changed, sequence hasn't changed. That's the first thing. Again, if I saw that, I'm out right away, right? So I look at it, I'm like, because then it's just a different swing. I'm like, okay, so we got the same thing. So now let's go look at magnitudes, right? I got the barefoot one here on the left. I click this one over here. Okay, your barefoot lateral was 11.85% of your body weight. So that's how much resistance you can put, 11.8% of your body weight from side to side.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
I go to the shoe now. We put the shoe on here. We'll see if my man's done his job with the traction on that shoe over here. And all of a sudden, it's jumped to 15. We actually just got a 27% increase in lateral traction. Okay, that would be a good thing.
Yes.
Right? So I look at that and I'm like, okay, you feel more comfortable pushing sideways here. That's going to translate directly into club head speed.
Okay.
Right? So I look at that and I'm like, check, that's good.
Right.
So now your twist torque, which twisting, think about it, that's delivering club speed this way, right? So it's 18.13 with the shoe. Let's go back to see what your barefoot was. And it was 17.62. That is a 3% increase. Check. I'm like, okay, I'll take 3% increase in torque, right? We'll take that all day long. When you put the shoe on, you push with 193% of your weight. That's your maximum vertical. Without the shoe, so take the cushion away, it's at 195. That means we maintain 98.9% of your vertical.
Right.
I'm like, dude, that's really good.
I think that's great.
And if at the end of the day, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, you have more comfort and you're playing more relaxed, it might be worth that.
I look at this and I'm like, if it feels comfortable to you and we're maintaining as much of the vertical, I'm all in. So if you ask me from a biomechanics, sports science standpoint, not talking about comfort and what you like, what looks better, there's no question we're going Premier. Both shoes improved your lateral and your twisting abilities, right? Both actually minimized how much it dampens. Obviously, the Hyperflex has more. I would say the advantage on the Hyperflex is he did it earlier, which is a little interesting. Like, so those can counterbalance. But I think the 27% increase and the only 1%, that's pretty hard to beat. So one of the things that I think is really clear by studying some of these players, how critically important it is to make sure you have the right footwear for the right player, right?
Yeah.
And I think we talk about from sizing, if your sizing's off, even just by a little, the reaction or the interaction between the foot and the shoe and the ground, I mean, we see massive reductions in force production, which is going to affect how fast the club's moving, right? So just from sizing, let alone just sizing, now if we add in all the beautiful things you guys are doing for traction to be able to enhance how we can grip the ground, it helps increase our lateral forces, our torques, which all move the club, right?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you can, with some very creative design, give them some shock absorption when they're walking, but try and maximize it when they're twisting. And that's pretty cool when you put the right shoe with the right player and some really cool things happen.